Okay, we are live. Welcome, welcome. I'm Marcy Dillon. I'm a resident here in Norman, Oklahoma, and this is our weekly show, and I am your guide for all things Oklahoma real estate and Oklahoma real estate adjacent. So, before we get started, if you haven't hit that like button and that subscribe button on my channel, please go ahead and do that so you don't miss anything. And of course, if you want to join my newsletter that I put out twice a month, you can do that from the description as well. So, I'm a realtor here in Oklahoma, and today we have a guest. And she is here with us, and she recently made the move to Oklahoma. And I know that's why you're all here today to hear what her experience has been so far. So, will you introduce yourself?
Oh, hi. Hi, everybody. My name's Yolanda, and I live in Oklahoma now. Oh, hi, Alan.
Hey, Alan. I know he's on every week. So I just always put the
Oh,
comments.
that's so sweet.
Yes. Perfect. Okay, so when did you make your move?
Oh, gosh. I haven't actually been here that long. I came and I think I closed at the end of April. So that's that last weekend in April is when I actually moved here physically.
Okay, the
Mhm.
last weekend in April. So
Yes.
so what was this? Where did you move from?
Well, I came from Washington State.
Okay.
And I lived about 2.5 hours north of Seattle.
Okay.
So I lived in a very unique spot where you had to go through the Canadian border and back into a little border, and then you were in a little town, and that's where I lived.
Okay.
So it's very interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting. Whenever you told me about that, I was like, okay. She going to Canada then back home.
Yes, yes. Mhm.
Awesome. Okay. So then you moved to Norman, Oklahoma
Yes,
from there, which
yes.
is not close to any coast or Canada for
No,
that matter.
no, no.
So why did you do that?
Well, so I was looking for housing prices, of course, have really become expensive, I think, all over the United States, as you probably know, and especially up in Washington. And I had actually been looking for several years there for a place to stay, but I was just priced out. And so I just started looking for homes because, I work remotely, so I can kind of live anywhere.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of looking all over the US to see, what might be a good fit for me and what I
Okay.
was looking for.
So what were the other places you were thinking about?
Well, let's see. I actually went to New Mexico about a year or so ago,
Okay.
and I was there probably for, I had booked a trip, I think, for 5 or 6 days, and I ended up staying maybe 2 or 3. I
Okay.
saw a few houses, and I wasn't feeling it. So it wasn't quite what I was looking for, although the houses were nice, but it was a little bit too dry, too cactusy for me there. So I kind of went back, to Washington and continued looking around.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Nice. So we have Mark is in here as well. He
Yeah.
said he moved from California. Where in California did you move
Oh,
from, Mark? Because California is giant. And you
yeah.
used to live in California too, right?
I did. I lived in California for about 4 years.
Oh, he said he lived in New Mexico for 7 months.
Oh, 7 months. That wasn't very
It's a short stint, Mark. It's a very short stint.
right, right, right. So that's funny.
Oh, he's from the Tahoe, the Bay
Oh, the
Area.
Bay Area.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I do
I
like the Bay
really
Area.
I like it too. Much better than Southern California personally, but
Yeah, yeah.
I also get that being priced out is a big thing. Yeah,
It really is.
yeah.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
yeah. Oh, he said he hated the elevation.
Ah, okay. I
It
got
does it makes differences in places you wouldn't expect
you.
with, like, food, how you feel, like, it's
That's
really
true.
crazy. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. hmm
Perfect. Okay. So, where did you first hear about Norman or Oklahoma City? How did that come about?
You.
Oh, it was me?
because as you know, a lot of people do a lot of research, on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was kind of looking up in Tulsa first, and, people's videos were popping up, and your video popped up. And I was like, oh, I was like, I didn't think about Oklahoma City. And I just watched it, and it looked really interesting. And I believe you were taking a drive on this one. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And
Huh.
so, and I have a friend that's also, born and raised in Oklahoma,
Mhm.
further up toward Tulsa.
Okay.
So he would tell me things about it, for the
Yeah.
past few years. So he was kind of surprised. He was like, "Oh, okay." And so that's how I originally heard about it, and I decided to book a trip.
Mhm.
And I think I stayed for about 6 days, or maybe at least five
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, I think it was about that.
hmm hmm
Yeah.
And when I flew in, I just couldn't believe how green it was. And I was like, oh, wow,
Oh,
look
you
how
did come at
pretty
a
it
good
is.
time though for that.
Yeah.
You
So
haven't
it's really
experienced the
pretty.
gray yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I got here, and Marcy, you and your team were
Mhm.
wonderful, and your husband showing me around. I don't know. I must have saw like 20 something houses. It was, but to be fair, I wasn't just in Norman. I was, I went to like the Yukon area, and then I went north to the Edmond area, and then further south from Norman as
Right.
well. So we actually had quite a few areas to look at.
Yeah, yeah, we did. And that happens a lot with people that I meet from YouTube because it's hard because you've never been here before. You don't know the areas.
Right.
I run into that quite a bit. And I always try to ask people to narrow down their location first.
Right.
Because if you don't, I mean, it's it's a lot. It's a lot of it's a hard decision making process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. hmm
Yes. Okay, so you visited in March, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Oh, wow. Yes.
And then you made the move and you were closed at the end of April on your
Yes.
taxes.
Yes.
Okay. And so before that, when did you decide that Oklahoma was the spot? Was it like in January or February?
Well, I was looking, and I was thinking about it, probably toward the end of January, February. And I said, well, I think I want to, because there were a couple other states I was looking at. And I said, well, let me go out here to Oklahoma and see, you know,
Yeah.
see how it is. And so that's when I decided. I was like, I'm just going to make the trip. And when I saw you on YouTube, I contacted you, and I ended up just booking a plane and booking an Airbnb, and you were going to be here at that time.
Yes.
So it kind of worked out that way.
Okay.
And I just liked the vibe that I was seeing in the videos. I also was looking at things such as taxes,
Okay.
cost of living.
Mhm.
That was really a big decision on, part of why I was looking at Oklahoma was the cost of living.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What did you find on taxes?
Property taxes, first of all, are much lower than a lot of other states that I was looking at, such as Florida or California, or not California, Florida or Texas or
Right.
even Illinois, and their property taxes were very high, especially compared to Oklahoma.
Yes.
Oklahoma also appears to be very friendly toward retirees,
Yes.
and your Social Security, as well as your 401, your estate, and sales tax and gas prices. So all of that, as
Mhm.
combined as a whole, helped me with the decision for first coming, that I really need to
Yeah.
see what it looks like, and I wanted to see how it is
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were surprised by how green it was here when
Yes,
you
it was so
first
pretty.
landed, which
Yes.
you did come in springtime. It's not always green, I
Yeah.
assure you.
Yes.
So other than that, what were the other surprises that came up for you?
Well, as I was coming from the airport, I rented my car and everything, and I'm driving, and I'm going to my Airbnb, and I just noticed just how clean it was.
Mm.
I thought it was really like there wasn't trash or graffiti everywhere, and it was just really nice, and all the trees, and it was just really pretty. And then I got to the Airbnb, which I stayed in Norman actually, even though I know we were going other places, but I
Right.
had quite a few houses to see in and around Norman, so
Yeah.
that's why I ended up staying there. And I like the look of the houses too. They're just super cute with the
Mm,
a lot of them have the brick, and I really like that look. So
okay.
those were my first impressions.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So you really like the look of the houses, which are house styles. Like we have mostly one-story houses here. Like there are two-story houses, but like whenever I drive, especially in Texas, because I go to Texas a lot,
Yeah.
everything is two-story. Literally everything
Oh, wow.
is two-story. It is wild to me.
That was
Uh,
one of my requirements, a one-story home. So
yeah.
that helped because there were so many available with one story. I didn't have to worry about, trying to decide if I could have to get a two-story home. So
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
So that our houses tend to be, they call them ranch style houses. I
Yes.
guess
Hmm.
I they're really Dallas style. So any house that has like a small front porch, that's kind of, it's called a Dallas style, but I understand why it's, why would you would also call it a ranch style as well, because it is very similar to that older ranch style home. So
Oh, yeah, that's true. And they call them ramblers in Washington.
oh, okay. Yeah. So Mark has been watching, and he
Oh, look at
commented
that.
that now that he's in Oklahoma, the cost of living is 50% less than in California, while still getting that six-figure California remote work
That is
money.
a plus. Sure. Yeah.
And he says it's also clean as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
understand. I understand.
Mhm.
I have seen that a little bit in other states, that it may not be the same level of cleanliness.
Right. Right.
And he said that he loves the homes here too. The style is very
Yeah.
interesting. And we have a lot of new homes as well.
Yes.
Also
Yes.
helps a lot of people. Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. Okay, nice. Um, so what resources did you use in looking for your home here in Oklahoma?
Well, once I contacted you, you
Mhm,
hooked me up with the MLS, I believe, and sent
mhm.
me listings. But otherwise, I just use the usual listings, either Zillow or Realtor.com. I know some people don't like Zillow, but I like Zillow because a lot of times they have a map and you can zoom in on the street and you can see see all the cars and you can see the houses and everything. So that's why I really like that. So, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, mhm.
We have another commenter as well. She's very excited to visit.
Yes, we're
Excited
excited
for
to
you as
see you
well.
too.
Very excited to see you.
Oh, yeah. So, mhm,
Amazing. Okay, so you use the MLS to find houses. How did you
mhm.
feel about the different areas that you visited? Because we were in Norman, we were in Yukon, Mustang, a little bit in Blanchard.
Yes.
The how did you feel about the countryside here? Houses in the countryside.
Well, when we were driving, they're absolutely beautiful. There's, of course, the further out you go, you can get a little more land, and but I felt like maybe it was a little far away from some of the amenities that I wanted to be closer.
Right.
One of the things that was on my list was that I'd be within, 15, 20 minutes from shopping, grocery shopping,
Mm,
clothes shopping, home shopping, because especially when you buy a new home, you are back and forth, Home Depot, Lowe's, and it's just all these different stores. So some of the places were a little further out, but the houses were nice. I mean, there were some houses that might have needed a little work, but for the most part, like most people here, that's another thing. They really keep their houses nice. And you could kind of tell when you look on the listings, you're like, wow, people are pretty neat here. And I really like that, that they try to take care of the homes the best they can. And that
mhm.
makes a difference, especially if you're buying a home. Maybe that's a little older. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we did drive to, and then Handsome, we drove pretty far too, as well past Edmond. and in the Guthrie area, I think, which again was lovely, but a little further out than I
Yeah,
wanted to be.
then you wanted to
So
be.
as far as the countryside, that's yeah, kind of.
Mhm. What were your specifications for the house that you wanted?
Um, there were a few things that I wanted in a home. One was I wanted a one story, just
Yeah,
didn't want to be going up and down the
that's
stairs
right.
anymore.
Mhm.
And I wanted, at least a 2 or 3 bedroom,
Mhm.
something with some space. I do like to cook, so I wanted something with a lot of cabinets or an extra pantry or something of that nature. And I really I wanted to have some space and peace and quiet. That
Yeah.
was really important to me, which I know you knew.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, because
Oh,
some of the houses, of course, if they're newer, they're going to be a little closer together. And
yes.
but the thing is, though, I stayed in one of those kind of homes. Maybe the lot was 7 or 8,000 square feet, and they had a neighbor on either side. But it was so quiet at night; like people weren't
Yeah.
loud, or
Yeah.
it was
People don't,
just
yeah,
very
they're not loud.
respectful.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. People
Mhm.
aren't loud here, and I think one of the things, and, like, this could be totally wrong, but Handsome noticed this. He went to LA a couple of weeks ago, and the time zones make a big difference for us. Like, a lot of people here have to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
and that's early. Like, so they're in bed. There's no
Yes.
there's no loudness. So
Yes.
every everyone here kinda keeps to themselves, and
Right.
nothing here is open very late, so there's no reason to be up. Like, if you
Right.
go close to campus, those 2 or 3 streets close to the University of Oklahoma, it's loud, um, because they're partying on Thursday
Right.
or Friday, but that's it.
Right.
That's the
Right.
only thing. It was like, yeah. Mark says that it's only loud on the 4th of July and for 2 weeks after.
I think that's everywhere.
Yeah. You're like, "Is that a gunshot?" Like,
Oh
"No, it's
my
not a
gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
gunshot." Oh, man. So do you feel like you got everything that you wanted in your new house?
Oh my gosh. Yes. I got just about everything that I wanted. It's a very large lot. There's a lot of trees, so it's private in the back.
Yeah.
I don't have any neighbors
Mhm,
directly on either side of me, just across the street, and it is absolutely lovely.
mhm.
And I also I'm close to shopping. There's like a super Walmart barely 10 minutes from
That
here.
is a very large Walmart.
There's a very like yes, it's very large. And then if you go down further, there's more shopping. There's Aldi, and if I drive late, 17 minutes or so, there's Sprouts, and there's tons of restaurants. So it's really it's a great location because I
Mhm.
feel like I'm a lot further out than I actually am, and
Yes.
so because I drive like maybe 6 minutes, and there. Oh
Yeah.
God, there's Norman and 10 minutes from OU. So everything's very, very close.
Yeah. Yes. LA doesn't start anything until 9. Oh my gosh. If I'm not, like, in my pajamas at 9
Right,
o'clock,
I know. Like, I totally have to be
like,
sleeping.
9 o'clock is when my alarm goes off to take my medicine at night.
Yeah, there you go. That's funny.
Like,
That's funny.
I
Yeah.
can't. No, if someone told me I had to leave my house at 9 o'clock at night, then it
Right.
would be no,
You're
that's
like,
a
that's
no.
it. You're like, oh, we're going partying then? No, no, thank you.
So Mark says that your house, sounds really nice, privacy, peace, and quiet.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's very nice. It's
Mhm.
very lovely. I love it,
Yeah.
and it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then there's there's cleaners nearby. There's
Mhm.
contractors nearby.
Yeah.
I'm not so far out where people don't want to come, or it's an issue with
Yes.
that. So yeah,
Right.
it's lovely.
Yeah. I think
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Mark says that he wishes there was more than one Whole Foods and Trader Joe's. Yes, there's only
Yes.
one Whole Foods and one Trader Joe's.
And I will take that drive. It's actually a little closer than it was when I used to live in Washington State,
Oh,
so
good.
that's
Yeah.
not bad. And I don't have to go through two borders to get to it, so that helps.
Yeah,
Oh,
so our Trader Joe's and our Whole Foods are like basically neighbors to each other, and they are in Nichols Hills, essentially in
yeah,
North Oklahoma City. And
yeah.
what's nice though is like you go up there and like have a good meal,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe you're shopping for something else. Like,
Right.
yeah, we do, however, have a Costco in Moore.
Yes.
And we got that. Let's see, I helped one of the managers move whenever it first opened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's yeah, whenever we got that, like it's I don't go in there very much, but Handsome goes a lot. We only had Sam's Club before that
Oh,
because,
yes.
we're in Oklahoma. So
Costco.
the closer you are to Bentonville, Arkansas, then
Mhm.
the more Walmarts you have.
Ah, that's right. Headquarters.
Yes,
Yes.
that
Yes.
is how it works. So,
Mhm.
okay. So you had purchased homes before moving to Oklahoma before, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. How
I've owned
was
homes.
that? How were those experiences versus the experience that you had here in Oklahoma?
So I say this and I mean this with all my heart, but you are probably the best realtor I've ever worked with or seen. And I actually used to sell real estate. So I've worked with a lot of realtors. So I'm
Mhm.
not just saying this out of the blue.
Thank
You're
I didn't pay her, guys. I didn't pay.
you and your team were absolutely it was so smooth and seamless because once you get the house, you put in an offer and it's accepted. Man, that clock starts ticking. You don't have a
Yeah.
whole lot of time, so you really need people that are on top of it. And you and your team you were on top of everything. Any questions I had, you were always getting back to me right away, or Handsome was, or whatever I needed. And the fact that I was out of the state made it
Yes.
a little more trickier too. But Handsome came to the inspection, put it on camera. You even showed me a couple homes after I left. I ended up, of course, purchasing one of the
Oh,
first ones I
yeah.
saw on the first day. But
That
yeah,
happens most times.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I really liked this house when I first saw it, but it felt further out
Yeah.
than it actually was. And once I really started investigating and looking, I was like, oh my God, this house is not that far. So yeah. So that's what happened. But yeah, so the experience was absolutely wonderful. And you really helped because moving is very stressful,
It is.
especially from another state and especially having to go through borders and all this. I mean, it was, yeah.
That's different. Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I haven't done that before. I mean, not with like an entire house full of
Right.
kids.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Mark asked a question.
Yes. That's exactly where he
He
must have
goes, "Is
looked at it
it
and was
more
like, what do
covered?"
you have to go through the border to get this? That's where I lived. It's a quaint little town. I'm used to being in small towns too, so that isn't an issue for me. I
Mhm.
absolutely love it, and I have some really good friends that I met there that are already wanting to come visit. So
Good. That's good. Yeah.
yeah,
And then we had a comment about Costco versus Sam's Club, which I don't know. I think Costco has
okay.
better products.
Yes, I think between the two, I like Sam's Club. I've shopped at both.
Yeah.
I've been members of both. I feel like Costco has a much wider and larger variety than Sam's Club. And that's it, really. I mean, that's kind of, and another thing I like about Costco, depending on what area you go to, they kind of cater to that area. So not everyone is going to have exactly the same thing, which is great. So the things we like in one place, maybe they don't like it in another place. And so they make sure to stock those items for you. So I
Them
do like
those
that.
Korean popsicles are good, man. Good.
Yeah. Yes.
They're
Yeah.
so good.
Yes. I'll have to try it. It's so
Uh,
beautiful there. Oh.
and Mark says that Costco's better. We all think Costco's better. I'm sorry. That's just how it is.
Mm.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
Okay, sweet. So now that you're living here, is there something that has come up or anything that has come up that you're like that you thought would be different? Any surprises, bad surprises, good surprises?
Oh, well, some of the surprises, the people are so friendly
Yeah.
and very nice. I think I was going for a ride on my bike or something. I was getting ready, and a lady came by with her dog. She's, "Hi, congratulations on your new house!" She's like, "I was like, "Ah, thank you," and people are like waving and saying hi. And I actually went up to just the lakes,
Yep.
places that are bike friendly that I can go to. That's been a surprise, and I've liked that, and I'm really
Nice.
happy because I love my bike. And
Mhm.
I went to a place up in Moore last weekend to ride around this huge, beautiful lake,
Yeah.
and everybody was just so friendly. They're like waving, and people on their bikes, or even the guys with the little suits that they wear, the little bike suits, and usually they ride in packs and they don't really say anything to you, but even they were like, "Hi."
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
that has definitely been something that's a really pleasant surprise. The service I've received at all the different stores and shopping and contractors, things of that nature, and the variety of animals. I'm a big animal lover,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
cannot believe all the different birds. And
Okay.
I even saw a road runner a few weeks ago. I was
That's
like,
that's
"What?
I haven't seen one in a
Did you see
long
a road
time.
runner?" I had to look up the picture. It's so cute,
Yeah.
and then just turtles and
Mhm.
frogs. There was like a tree frog on my back.
Mhm.
And just all the variety of birds are just absolutely beautiful. And the cows and just all the farm animals that I see, going by, and horses and buffalo. And
Yep.
it's really, really beautiful. Oh, and
They're
hawks.
not wild buffalo.
Not wild buffalo. No,
Not
not the
wild
wild buffalo.
buffalo.
And the red hawks,
Yep.
they're
Hot.
absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, so I really thought I would, because where I lived before, there were a lot of eagles, and I love the eagles, and we see the deer, but I feel like there's more variety of animals here
Mhm.
to look at, which is absolutely great. And the warm weather and seeing the sun all the time has been really lovely.
Yeah. The sun does shine. We're the seventh sunniest state in the US.
Ah, see, I didn't know that. That's new. I didn't know that. But yeah, it's been very, like, even when it rains, it doesn't like rain all day, or if it's
Mhm.
cloudy, it'll, I mean, because we need rain for trees and everything, so in the
Mhm.
grass. But it's been really lovely and warm, and it can get very warm and very humid.
It's very
So,
warm.
sometimes I'll just go out early in the morning if I know it's going to be really hot, so
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I know, on Sunday, we had our hottest day yet of the year. I think it was
Oh,
95, 96, which it's hard whenever we have those first few days of it because you're just not used to it yet.
yeah.
Because summer doesn't start for another 10 days, right? Like, not really, but
That was
it's
some
still
summer
hot.
heat. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty hot. I
It
did go for a bike ride, but I did wake up early, like 8 or 9, and I did like an hour, and
Yeah.
so that was great. I saw some baby cows; they were cute.
Yeah, but even at night on Saturday, that was
Hmm.
when it was hot. Yeah, it didn't cool off, like,
Yeah,
until, like, 10 o'clock.
yeah, it
You
was
know?
just kind of warm.
Oof, it
Well,
was
that's why the air conditioning is nice. I believe I saw it in every home that I looked at.
yes,
So don't worry about that. You'll have
common
some air
question
conditioning.
that I get. We all have air conditioning.
Yes,
You
yes,
would not live here if you didn't have
yeah.
air
Although
conditioning.
my cat loves the warm, she's like, "Oh, this is the best weather in the world."
So I think we have a commenter that says she's living her best Disney princess life. I don't think the birds and animals are dressing her or carrying. But yeah, that makes sense. That very Snow White, right?
Hmm. Hmm. That's funny. Oh,
Um,
sweet.
so Mark says
Oh
that
yes, armadillos. Yes.
armadillos, yeah, armadillos. So this is a very side comment. Did you know they carry leprosy?
Yeah, I don't touch armadillos.
No, I'm not saying
I'll
that.
look at them from afar, but I won't touch them.
Don't touch them. Fireflies are cool. We definitely call them lightning bugs.
Yes, lightning bugs. That's what we call them.
And the warmth walking at night. Yeah, it does not cool off in the summer, in the nighttime, as much as it does in other places. So
Mm.
yep. Yep. It gets cold at night, yeah, compared to
Well, the
California gets
desert.
much
So yeah,
colder at night,
yeah,
much colder. It just does not. It's so humid here. It does
right.
get colder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fireflies, we don't see, like, I saw so many when I was a kid,
Yeah.
but not as many now. And maybe it's just because, like, I don't live way out in the country now, but I feel like
Mm,
even in the summer when I'm at my parents', I don't see as many, unfortunately.
right.
But yeah. Mark says that sometimes he likes to pretend that he's in the tropics in his backyard.
Well, that's another thing. Now that he brings that up, I am definitely closer to all the Caribbean islands, which is great. And I'm kind of in the middle because it's not very easy to fly from being, so far up there.
Yeah.
So this is very convenient to see family and things like that. So
Right.
that was another part of my decision too. But yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I've made some other videos about like Oklahoma is it no flights connect here. So like you're not gonna fly from Dallas to, I don't know, like Baltimore and connect in Oklahoma City. No one connects in Oklahoma City. It's always the end of the line, right? But
Right.
we have a lot of direct flights.
Right. Which is
We have,
great.
yeah, Washington, DC, Chicago.
Hmm.
You can go to Destin straight as well, which is a little town in Florida. It's really random. We
Oh,
have direct flights to Miami,
very nice.
Seattle, Los Angeles, San Francisco. I mean, like, there's a lot of direct flights, and our airport is very nice.
Yes, it is a lovely, lovely airport. It's very pretty. It's
And it's
very nice.
super easy to get to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very easy. Oh my gosh. It took me no time now I've been three times or twice at least. So
Yeah.
yeah, but it's
It takes like 20 minutes from my house, and I live in Norman and it's in Oklahoma City. So,
right.
and there's never really traffic, and it costs, if you park in the worst parking lot, which still has fences around it, it costs $6 a day.
Oh, it's so cheap.
I know. I don't know how much covered parking is because I'm not that bougie, but maybe if it was tornado season when I was traveling, I would do that.
Yeah, you would. Yeah. Yeah,
I
that
don't
would
really
make
travel
sense.
during tornado
Yes.
season, so I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So Alan says that it's sunnier than Florida. Is it sunnier than Florida? I don't think so.
I don't know. They
I
call
don't
it
know.
the Sunshine State, so I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. A butterfly landed.
Yes,
A butterfly landed.
it did.
Okay, so that's why you're a Disney princess.
Yes, it's like I do for some reason. I do. Animals are constantly coming up to me for whatever reason, but
Yeah.
that's funny. Yes, yes. Butterfly.
They just think, oh, she's very calm. We need her energy. Okay. And Mark says they just raised parking prices. Well, even if they raise the parking prices at the airport, they're still really cheap.
They're still pretty cheap, yeah,
Like, I heard,
especially compared to other cities.
oh my gosh.
Definitely, definitely.
One of my friends told me it was $50 a day to park in Boston or something.
Oh my gosh, I believe that. I can believe that.
Nope.
Yes.
So how does the weather compare? Well, we talked a little bit about this. Are you looking forward to winter? Are you like, what is the season you're most looking forward to here in Oklahoma?
Probably fall. Fall is always my favorite. I like the leaves changing. It's usually a little crisper outside and not as rainy, but then it's still really pretty with all the colors. And so that's probably what I'm most looking forward to.
Yeah. Our fall is a lot later here than
Oh, okay.
Washington because so like I don't know if you ever look at the leaf peeping chart.
Oh.
So we actually have a like kind of a famous, I guess a regionally famous drive in Oklahoma. It's about 3 hours from here, so it's kind of far, but it's
Mhm,
called the Talamina Scenic Drive.
mhm, mhm.
And so it's about a 3 hour like scenic drive through the Ozarks between Oklahoma and
Mm.
Arkansas.
Uh-huh.
And but the peak leaf peeping for that drive is November.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it's like the first 2 weeks in November.
Oh, I might have to do that. That sounds
Yeah,
pretty. I
because
want to go to the Ozarks anyway, so yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's, so or those are the Washitas, I'm sorry, not the Ozarks, it's the Washitas.
Oh, okay.
And if you guys can spell Washita for me, you win. 'Cause it's weird. Okay, so yeah, leaf peeping is definitely a lot later than in the northern states, for
Oh,
sure.
that is
Yeah.
November. Wow, because it's snowing in most other states
Oh,
by then.
it might
So
snow. Probably not.
yeah.
Probably not. $18 a day at LAX offsite. Yeah, that makes sense
Uh,
for airport parking.
it's like double the price.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, Mark, I'm guessing you're talking about the Talamina Drive. It is gorgeous.
Mm,
Yeah.
I might
The
have to do
there
that.
yeah, there are 2 mountain ranges in Arkansas, and it's like a 5-hour drive from here to Hot Springs, Arkansas, so that's our closest national park.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. So I've done that. It's fun. It is very busy on the weekends,
Mm,
so I prefer the weekdays.
yeah, yeah.
The other used to be national park that we have is the Chickasaw Recreation Preserve, which is about an hour from here.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Okay, Alan. Is that what are we looking at, Alan?
That elevation, maybe?
No, no. It's not elevation. What was the last thing you said? Sunnier than Florida.
Oh, the
4,000.
days, the days. No, that doesn't make sense either. Okay, you'll have to tell us what those numbers mean.
Mark says it's
I could
sunny.
be guessing all day.
I don't know what he's talking about. I mean,
You
I'm
can't
sure
have 4,000 days of sunny days because it's all.
in your lifetime. Or-
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah, something. It's something. I mean,
Mm,
I'm sure it has to do with sunny days. I'm just not. I just don't know exactly
yeah.
hours. But that's Mark. Mark, you don't know. What are you
That's really funny. But I guess it makes sense because if it's raining part of the day, would you say that's a full sunny day? So I guess it gotta be
saying?
hour.
True. It definitely stops raining here in July and August. Like we don't.
No rain. Yeah, that's when it gets drier, probably. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Alan says it's sunlight.
Okay.
Thank you for answering, Alan, because Mark had no idea what he was saying. Okay, so Mark is mentioning Medicine Park. It is a cool, very funky town, much closer than Arkansas. So it's down at like Lawton, very hippie, kind of weird. It was the original like resort area in Oklahoma. And don't think of it's not resort like going to Cancun. Nope, nope, nope. Different. Different. I don't prefer going there in the summer, that's for sure. Wintertime is best, and you will see prairie dogs.
Oh, they're so cute.
Lots of them. Yeah, there's lots of prairie dogs.
Oh.
Ah, cool. Okay. Nice. Oh, pace of life. So I get comments a lot about how different and how slow life is here in Oklahoma compared to other states. And you've lived not just in Washington State, but some other states as well. So
Yes.
can you comment on that?
Yes. So, as far as a bigger city, if you're talking Chicago, LA, Seattle, Portland, things of that nature, it is definitely a slower pace compared to that. Because I did live in such a small town, for me, it's
Okay.
it's fine. It's probably it's definitely busier because there's more people here. But if you're coming from a bigger city, yes, it's a little bit slower pace. But people, I mean, it's not so slow where you can't get things on time or you have to wait like,
Right.
5, 6 months for somebody to come paint your house or, no, not that kind of
Yeah.
slow, but I don't know, like the traffic's not bad. It's just
Yeah.
kind of easy to get around, those kind of things. People are very friendly, like I said, and, they'll let you in and most people. So
Yeah, we do have some angry people at times.
yes, yes. So yeah, so the pace would be a little bit slower compared to those larger cities. Definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
Hmm.
One thing that always surprises me when I visit larger cities is how much I have to pay for parking.
Oh yeah,
Like we don't have to pay for parking here very much.
yeah,
And even if you have to pay for it, it's like $1 for 2 hours.
yeah. No.
It's yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I pay for parking when I go to the Broadway shows.
Oh
Um,
yes.
so I pay $10 to park in a lot where they're kind of guarding my car, which isn't really completely necessary.
Right.
Um,
Right.
otherwise I would have to like scavenge for
Right.
a spot, which isn't fun, especially when it's hot, which it typically is. So yeah, that's really the only time for special events like concerts at the not the BOK, that's in Tulsa. The Paycom Center, you
Oh.
will pay for parking. Yeah,
Hmm.
like that.
Hmm. That's
So
good to know.
mhm.
Definitely.
Yes. Mark says that he slowed down how fast he speaks and that his friends laugh at him because they speak and they occasionally yell. Like, I have to slow down how fast I speak to my parents, and they're from Oklahoma. Like, they've only lived here, and I do. I have to slow down a lot, or they can't understand me.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, and I say y'all, and I definitely do it more when I'm tired.
Oh, that's all.
Yep, definitely when I'm tired.
Mhm.
Is there anything that you really miss about Washington State?
Probably the big pretty
Oh,
mountains,
yeah, we don't have
and really just my friends. I mean, because
yeah,
I don't know, it's
yeah,
I mean,
that's
I like it here. I feel comfortable here. That's how I felt when I came to visit, which is why I decided I was like, wow, I definitely want to try this place out. And
mhm,
I just really liked it, and I really liked, the Norman area,
mhm,
and it's just really pretty, and everybody was really nice, and the prices were right for housing and everything else, and the gas prices are so cheap. Oh my god! So yes, yes, yes.
they
So
are cheap, yes.
yeah, but as far as yeah, I mean, there's so much to explore whenever you go and
Yeah,
you move somewhere new. So there's so much that I do need to see.
mm,
And yeah, so that's about it. Not too much that I missed so far. So that's good.
that's good, that's good.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Um, who are you saying has a West Coast accent, Mark?
Me? Do I have a West Coast accent?
She's from Chicago.
And sometimes I'll sound a little Southern too. So, or yeah, Chicago definitely has an accent, and that'll slip
Oh, yeah,
slip
Chicago
out every
has an
now and
accent for sure.
then. That's funny.
That's awesome.
Mhm. Yeah.
I had a question in my head and then it
Yes.
slipped away from me. Oh, what activities or like clubs or events or something? What are you looking forward to in terms of that?
Well, I was reading, and it looks like I love farmers markets. I like to go and get fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, and so I actually found the dentist and went to the dentist. And And they were giving me a lot of information about where I could go
Good.
in Norman as well as in Oklahoma City. I guess there's a botanical gardens. I
Yeah.
love looking at the beautiful flowers. So
It
that's
just
a place.
reopened too. They
Yeah.
just
Oh,
reopened.
that's great. That's
Mhm.
fantastic. I like going to the movies and they have the nice big leather, chairs that you can lay back in. Right here, I guess they just remodeled in Norman the theater there,
Yep.
so that's exciting because I do like to go to the movies every now and then as well. And gosh, and then like bike riding because I love to, especially on the weekends. During the week, if I go bike riding, I'll just kind of go around the
Mhm.
area, which is wonderful because there's like a lot of farms, a lot of animals.
Yeah.
But I do like to go and visit the different parks and lakes and ride around there and bike trails on the weekends. So there's so many that I need to see. So I'm looking forward to all of that. I'm really not a clubber. I don't go out to clubs anymore. Really, I don't think I could stay up long enough.
Well, we're going to the rodeo, aren't we?
Yes, we are going to go to the rodeo. Yes, I promise we will go to the rodeo. I am really looking forward to that.
Yeah, rodeo is fun. I love rodeo.
Yes, there's actually a women's rodeo
Oh, you're
that's
right.
in July. I was like, ooh, so I think I want to go to that too. So
Mhm.
I don't know. Is that held outdoor or indoor?
Where was it? What's the event center?
I think it's. Oh, oh gosh, I'm going to have to look it up.
Yeah.
But I
Depends on where it's being held. Yeah, if it's
yes, I'd have to see. Is it the lazy?
if it's at the Lazy E, then it's indoor. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Lazy E. So that's where it's going to be. So I think
Mhm.
that would be really lovely to see all the ladies.
Yep. Do their rodeo. Hmm.
Yes, yes. So,
Let me catch up on my comments here.
oh, go ahead.
So yeah, I'm missing the redwoods. Oh my gosh, got to see the redwoods for the first time, and it was like our trees are so pathetic.
My trees are great. I have really huge trees in my yard.
Yeah,
So,
but they're not redwood.
well, not redwoods. No, 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 nothing that big.
And I guess Mark was saying that I have a West Coast accent.
Oh, okay.
I can have an Okie accent, don't you worry. I just try to sound semi-professional whenever I'm talking. And I like to enunciate. It's very important.
Yes.
And Alan says to get your friends to move. Sometimes that happens.
I'm definitely trying.
Yeah.
Family.
Family. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Mark says to check out the Great Hall. What is that?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know what
Sounds
he's referring
interesting.
to on that. Yeah. He says it's amazing. I'm trying
Ooh.
to think of what it could be. For sure.
What do they do there, Mark?
Yeah. He'll answer in a second, I'm sure.
Yes.
I think those are my questions.
Oh.
I had this thought recently of, and I was like, if I tell this to Handsome, downtown, the Great Hall downtown.
Oh.
I don't know what that is. Tellers. Oh, yes. You got to go to Tellers. You're right, Mark. You're right.
Okay.
So Tellers is in the First National Bank. It's the old bank building. It's not a bank anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They made it kind of into this like super bougie shopping / restaurant area. So Tellers, I haven't had the food. At first, it was not getting great reviews. So I was not planning to spend $50 on a meal that wasn't good.
Right.
I don't know how it is now. Their drinks are very good. And I'm a weirdo. I take my book to a bar and read while I drink. They had lamps on the bar, so I could
Oh, that's funny. Oh.
it was
Well, I will definitely. Yeah, there's so many places I need to see. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
like if
It's
you talk
really
to me next year, it'll be
Yeah.
probably still more places that I need to
Yeah.
see. So
I know my thought recently, well, in the past 2-3 years, I was like, I should make a goal of visiting every county in Oklahoma.
oh, that's
And
interesting.
if I can just see if Handsome was here, he'd be like, it's like in
Oh, thank you.
a lot of these counties there is nothing. But it's so interesting.
Literally one horse towns, huh?
Yeah. It's so interesting to drive around and like figure
Yeah.
things So,
Yeah.
so
That's funny.
it's like that'll be so fun. I want to do that. But
Yes, yes.
well, that's good. He's reporting that the food is great and that he's picky. So that's
Okay.
nice.
There
There's
you
a
go.
lot of there's some really cool shops in there. There's one really cool shop. I think it's the Plenty Mercantile that's in there. So if
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying postcards, because I send a ton of postcards, then
Oh,
I buy them there.
that's
They're
really
like
good.
Oklahoma style. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
They're fun. I
Another
like that.
place to check out.
Yes.
Mm.
Anything you want to add about your experiences before we end our
Well,
conversation?
it was fast and it
Yeah.
was pleasant and it was
Good.
smooth
Good.
and I really enjoyed that. And the only advice I give people if you're going to be moving from
Mhm.
another state or just moving, period, one thing I had was a list
Okay.
of everything that I needed to do, all
Yeah.
the calls that I needed to make,
Yeah.
whether I'm donating clothes or giving away furniture or selling things, like everything, calling the utility companies. And they actually have lists if you just Google, moving lists just to kind of get you
Yeah.
started. And then I
Yeah.
just cross it off, on my phone or whatever. Or if
Mhm.
you old school want to do pen and paper. But
Yeah.
I did find that really helped to keep things because I wasn't forgetting a lot of things. So I could always
Mm.
go and check that list every day. And I think that really helped. And having wonderful professional people that are on top of things is really
Mhm.
important. And having a good realtor and, just do your homework when you're getting a loan and things like that.
Yeah.
So all of that is important, but it really helped. And I'm really happy that I'm here. And just thank you so much again.
Yeah, I'm so happy for you. Like it's cool to see people be able to move and flourish in a new place because it's so scary.
Yes.
It's so scary.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Lists are key. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, I love lists. Oh my gosh, I
Me
have so
too. I'm
many.
like checking off things, like, oh, and it really feels good when you check them off and you're all done. So,
Oh, it feels so
that.
good. I agree with
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
thank
Well,
you so much for
yes,
having me. Oh,
thank
my
you so much
goodness.
for joining, you guys. If you have any questions for me about moving or whatever, there's my email. If you want to send me an email, you absolutely can. You'll also find my phone number and stuff in the description, or it's literally all over the internet. Like you just have to Google my name. You'll find it. So, thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you guys in a couple of weeks. So, ciao.
Bye, everybody.